But after the past, 10 years, I think it's safe to say that there's no shortage of idiots doubling down on stupid in the media mob. But their influence and their power is waning, and all of you know it. And they want this Congress to enact Trump's America's First agenda. And tonight, I am joined by the people that will make that happen. Many of the lawmakers responsible for getting this agenda across the finish line to help improve your lives, make your towns, your cities more safe, more secure, and to put more money in your family's pocket and make us the richest country on earth with energy, along with their leader, Speaker of the House. Let's give a warm congressional welcome to your Speaker, Mike Johnson. Great to see you, Mr. Speaker. How are you? Thank you. Wait a minute. When I walked in the room, I did not get that reception.
That's not true. That's not true.
It's great to see you. I'm glad everybody came tonight. I'm very grateful, actually, because I'm really here with one message, and I know you know what the message is.
Yeah.
But I think it's clear. You have a razor-thin majority. I know you'll go up to 5, which is still very thin.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of problems in this country. How can you get this caucus, the varying factions, the study group, the Saturday group, the Sunday group, the Freedom Caucus, all of them to understand that they have to work together?
Yes, the answer is yes. Welcome back to Capitol Hill. We're glad to have you. He did get a rousing applause when he walked in the room tonight. We assembled top leaders in the House to show you that we are unified, but not just unified, energized. There's a sea change in Washington. You felt it here. You were here during the inauguration events, and we're all still kind of riding high after that amazing set of events. I was with the president at the White House for 3 hours today with Leader Thune and other leaders from the conference here. We are all united on this agenda, Shauna. We know we got to deliver on that America First agenda. We will. We've been working on it already. The president is already going to have legislation to sign. His executive orders came out as a flurry, as we expected. We're just getting started.
The Riley Act is first?
Exactly right. And that's a border provision, which actually got a few Democrat votes. What a concept, you know? They got the message in the election, just like everyone did. The American people had enough of the radical, woke, progressive agenda. They delivered Donald J. Trump a 77 million popular vote outcome. We got 74.7 million in the House, the highest popular vote total for the House ever, for the House Republicans. We have a mandate, and we're going to use it, and these are the people who are going to get it done.
Let me ask all of you in the room, you understand that you win or lose together. Does everyone get that?
Oh, yeah.
Does everyone understand that nobody in this room, and there are friends, new friends in this room, nobody here will get everything that they want. Do we understand that too?
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody gets that? Jim Jordan even agrees. So we'll talk to Jim in a minute. But if people understand that when you talk to members, and I know there are people that are giving you a hard time, and you explain this concept to them, are they open to hearing you?
Yes, everybody is. We are having family conversations. That's part of it. We're a great deliberative body.
You throw food?
No, no food. No. Pencils, but no. Okay. We're in these rooms with whiteboards, working it out. Everybody has different ideas, but our principles are the same. We want to scale down the size and scope of government. We want to get the border secured. We want to unleash American energy again, get back to energy dominance, and unleash the U.S. economy again. We got to make sure that we don't have the largest tax increase in U.S. history, which is what would happen if we fail in this mission by the end of this year. A lot of things on the table, but we all know that. We know how high the stakes are, and we are going to deliver for the people.
Okay. When you look at that insider advantage poll, I think it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
They want this unity. It seems that the agenda that they're saying that they want is the Trump agenda.
Yes.
Trump agenda, if you really break it down, to its simplest form, is not that complicated.
No.
If implemented, it would be transformational.
It would, and it follows common sense. That's the theme that you'll hear him talking about and all of us talking about. We all ran on that agenda. We were in our districts, and that's how we delivered that decisive outcome in the election. What this is getting America back, making America great again. It's not just a slogan. It's what we're actually going to accomplish, and it is going to be a new golden age in America, and we can't wait to get that thing going.
Let me talk a little bit, probably the two biggest issues in the campaign had to do with border security, the economy. And that's one thing that I think really hurt the Democrats is they were in denial and flat out lied to us repeatedly, saying the border is secure and the border is closed. It was never closed. We showed it every night. Joe was a cognitive mess for 4 years. I put on the best montages we've ever put on television that late night comics should have used. They lied about inflation being transitory. The average family is struggling. The cost of gasoline is $1.25, $1.50 more a gallon. I mean, these are real impactful issues for the people in Ohio and Indiana and Texas and all around our great country. And I think that was a big part of it. People are going to want results. They want them pretty fast. Sure. Now, starting with the border. We have known terrorists in the country. We have cartel members in the country. We have gang members in the country. We have known murderers. We have known rapists in the country. Okay, remain in Mexico comes back. Love it. Build the wall. Love it. All of those things are important. How do you possibly, in a country of this size, find the people from Iran and Syria and Afghanistan, Egypt and Venezuela and Russia and China and get them the hell out of here?
It's a serious challenge, but it will be our focus. We're going to begin with the dangerous criminals that we can find pretty easily. Many of them have committed crimes in the country, of course, some violent acts upon Americans, and that's what the American people demand and deserve immediately. That starts now. Those executive orders were to jumpstart it, and we'll be codifying a lot of what the president has already signed, and we will fund this. We will restore the safety and security of the country for the American people. If you don't have a border, you don't even have sovereignty. And that's what people recognized in the election. They weren't buying the nonsense that the Democratic Party was selling.
What do you do about cities and states that are sanctuaries, safe havens for illegal immigrants?
Well, one of the things we have here is the purse strings, right? That's the power of the purse, and we've got to bring them to heel. These cities that have led to this chaos, that created the humanitarian catastrophe that came from that border, that we'll be living with for decades. It's going to take us a long time to unwind this. But to your point, the American people need to see immediate results. They're going to see resolve here. They're going to see action, not just talk, and that's already begun. Okay,
let's go to a specific example. Our old friend Gavin Newsom. Okay. A lot of Gavin fans here, I can tell. I actually feel sorry for the people in California that were victims.
Yeah, sure.
You know, what did they lose? 13,000 structures. I mean, it's terrible. And they never practiced the science of forestry.
No.
How do you have a fire hydrant that has no water? How do you have a reservoir that is empty?
Yeah.
That is government to me at its worst, right?
Right.
They didn't have controlled burns. They didn't clear the kindling, the brush that you should be clearing out. But you go to California, they're a sanctuary state. LA and San Francisco are sanctuary cities.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin is doubling down on a fight Trump agenda, you know, Trump-proof California.
Right.
And so are you saying that California, if they continue to aid and abet law-breaking and harbor illegal immigrants, money from D.C. gets cut off?
Yeah, we're talking about conditions to this disaster rate. Look, there are natural disasters, but there are man-made disasters as well, and they made terrible decisions. You know, they knew exactly what they were doing. That reservoir outside Pacific Palisades, 117 million gallons, it was empty for a year. Why? They were trying to save a smelt fish or something. I mean, their policies are upside down. They made decisions that made that disaster exponentially worse, and this is what the American taxpayer is demanding of us everywhere else in the country.
Put take it a step further.
Yeah.
Any representatives from California here? Anybody? One, okay. Hi.
He's bashful.
That's Gavin's cousin in the back.
No.
I'm kidding, I'm teasing. Congressmen and women from California, Republicans, will come and say, if you do this to my state, I'll never win re-election.
No, the Californians that are here are fiscal conservatives. They're fiscally responsible. They know that we owe the taxpayer some accountability for those funds. And so what we're talking about is making sure that they follow common sense in California. And if there's culpability for what happened, there really needs to be conditions that follow that aid. It's not unprecedented, by the way. After Katrina in my state, there were conditions placed upon the funds. It happened after Hurricane Sandy up in the Northeast. So there's a tradition of doing this, and in California, it certainly makes sense. So we're going to come to consensus on what that looks like.
Would conditions be tied to defund, dismantle, no bail laws?
I think all those issues have to be addressed. When you're talking about disaster aid, you don't want to leave the people, you know, who are really hurting without something because of the terrible political choices of their leaders. But we got to thread that needle the right way. But I think that what we're talking about here is restoring common sense, even in the state of California. Right. With the mandate we have, the responsibility we have, we're going to do that very thing.
Are we prepared to build, if Russia and China have hypersonic missile technology and we don't, and if I'm right, and I don't know if you all agree with me, if you don't, tell me, but the next generation of warfare, wars are not going to be fought on a battlefield.
That's right.
They're going to be fought in air-conditioned offices.
Yep.
You all agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're behind. Am I wrong?
We have real concern about that. China is almost a peer-to-peer adversary with us. We're the last great superpower on the planet, but we have to think logically about how we fund our Defense Department. It is going to be drone warfare. It's going to be cyber warfare. It'll be all those new kinds of technologies, and we have to maintain our lead. We're the strongest nation in the history of the world. We're the most successful, most powerful. Also the most benevolent, by the way. But there's a reason for that. We prioritize spending, and we make sure that we maintain peace through strength. We got a new commander-in-chief, a new sheriff in town, and he's going to bring that back, and we're going to help.
Okay. And then I was talking to Claudia Tenney, who will join us a little later from New York. New York would not have to tax people and chase people like me away. I left. I'm gone. I'm done. And I hardly ever go back because they want to come after me.
Yeah.
Right? And I had to do like 65 things, according to accountants and lawyers, to establish residency last year in Florida. And I have it fully domiciled, homesteaded. But the question is, you know, because of the energy emergency declaration of the president, would that then, would the supremacy clause kick in as much as the federal government would have the right to insist that fracking take place in a state like New York, which would make them rich?
Yeah, so I'm a constitutional law attorney. I got that question 5 times today. We're trying to figure that out. Some of this is uncharted waters. I mean, an emergency energy declaration, what effect does that have on state laws? We're 10th Amendment guys, we're states' rights, but this genuinely is a national emergency, and it got to be addressed that way.
And they depleted our strategic petroleum reserve.
That's right.
Well. All right, you all having fun yet? Yep. We have a lot more to come. Straight ahead. We're just getting started. House GOP leadership will join us next to discuss how they will implement Donald Trump's agenda. That and much more as we continue. We are at our nation's capital, and it's freezing. Straight ahead. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.